Hello, this is a quick video and I want to discuss uh, cores versus speed or robustness of the CPU and its effect on uh, on the performance and how this will help you if you want to purchase, whether it's a brand new computer or it's an old computer. Before I start, I want to say that there is many factors you should consider when you buy a computer. The build itself, the brand, I don't want to say the brand should not follow a brand, but you should follow a build, like a certain model. Let's say, you see what I mean. And for example, I find that all the computers that I do a lot of work on are mostly actually like Dell Latitude or Dell Dell M400 or something like that, Precision maybe, but like those are like they are designed for work, not for play, but I bought them used. So that is one way to look at something, so and the availability of parts, and of course the price. I'm not here talking about being stingy. I'm just talking about being smart about your purchase. So here, this computer doesn't say here the price because this is very old. This is the first. I think I bought like two computers when I want to start like doing Linux instead of just learning about it from a course in school. I bought two computers, and this was the one before the first one. They were like 2 days apart, and this one I don't know. I can't remember the how much I paid for it, but probably was like $60 or so. This is a Dell Inspiron, and it is I think 2015 maybe or something like that. It was old, but it's not that bad. Have very good spec for its days. The only thing I had to do to it is install Linux on it. Didn't have a I believe it didn't have Linux, and I upgrade the RAM, and I had to buy a adapter for it because it won't charge. The battery was very good until now, and I actually fire it. I try to fire it every weekend, but like this weekend I didn't like fire it because I'm not feeling very well, and I didn't go like to a coffee shop or anything, which is something I often do on a weekend. So, but it ran very good, and so it fit. The build is very good on it, and all this. But we'll talk about the this have 4 cores, and it run at 1.0 gigahertz, so 1 gigahertz. So, which make it great for uh, energy consumption and so on and so forth. But I found this is a different computer. It's a hobby computer. This Dell I wanted to buy when in the 2008, but it was very expensive at the time. It's like a office computer. It's not much bigger. It's like 14 inch. The other one is 11 inch. The other one is touch screen too. So this is from 2008 and have dual core. Talk about the build, the parameter. I didn't buy this. I knew it gonna cost me. It cost me like with shipping probably like I don't remember. Let's add $15 probably to the price, and then I had to find RAMs for it because it take DDR2 RAMs. They don't sell them anymore, and I had to I had to put solid state drive in it, and the battery, and because it didn't have any battery, it came with a charger if I remember. But nevertheless, let's focus on the. So it have a two dual core Intel, and it is it's I think 2.5 or 2.6 gigahertz. No boost, nothing. This is very old, but no boost. However, and I have MX Linux in it. I put Linux Mint on it for a while. It ran actually better on faster on Mint, but the when I play like YouTube, and if your movement is very fast, like let's say Irish dancer like dancing on the screen, you could like the graphic was not very good, so I put it back on MX Linux because it fitted, and also MX Linux fit a lot of things that came with it, like the mouse pad. This have a special mouse pad that is no longer used, you know. But nevertheless, that is the thing. But I found that this computer, despite the fact it's from 2008, it smokes this computer. This is a newer computer, much newer, like almost I don't know, 8 years or newer maybe. And this have less cores. The other one have 4. This have 2. No boost. I don't know if the other one boost. I don't think so too. So I guess they are equal on that footing. But this one have the 2.5 gigahertz. You know, and this have to do with the. I mean, the right way to judge it. You know, the CPU is to judge it through the IPC, which is like the parameter of how many things you can run per cycle. How many things you can run on a CPU per cycle. But really, the IPC is tied to both tied to the the speed of gigahertz, and of course it does tie to the cores. But from my experience, the speed of so this one was like double the speed, but it have less cores. So technically and you think like if it was 1-for-1, this still have like 4 cores, so it's gonna run twice the speed as this one, or close to it, but it's the opposite almost. And I think the higher gigahertz the CPU run, the higher it can run hot, because any electronic component, when it heat up, it will slow down because resistance will increase as the heat. But CPUs with high speed turn to be designed to run hotter, and they have better cooling. Actually, this one have they have a cooling fan and everything, even though it's almost doesn't need it. Like I have Linux on it, I hardly ever hear the fan going on it. The fan on this one, when MX Linux, it's when it was on the different distros, when I tried different distros, the fan did shoot up, but with MX Linux it didn't shoot up at all, so it ran very good. But this is a thing, and the reason I wanna make this video is because the thought for it came from when I went to Walmart this I think 2 weeks ago, and I looked at the selection of computers, and I see some computers they sell with 6 cores, 15, 14 cores, and all this, and you think, oh, if if like someone who wanna buy your computer, and you know when you wanna buy something, you hype yourself, so you're not able to see clearly, but like they see the cores, and it really doesn't mean as much uh, as it's supposed to be, because if you buy a computer that have, let's say, 4 cores or 16 cores, and it run at like 1 gigahertz versus a computer that run at base level 2 point some, and we know these days all computers, even 7 years ago, 8 years ago, they turbo, so they can even go way higher than their intended speed. But if you do that, if you know, and you could be just following the things on the screen, or the things the placard your store might have, let's say 15 cores and all this, and maybe you end up buying a computer that is inferior to otherwise a cheaper computer that happen to have 4 cores, you know. So that is the gist of it. So just to recap, remember the build of the computer, you know, not the brand, the model itself, you know, the parts, availability of parts, like in this case, for example, I knew it's very old and it's very hard to find part for it, but that was a hobby, so that's okay, so that's on me, you know. Like I think with the parts, it's like it was almost like $200 after all buying all this for it. But but that's something I wanted, that computer. So the price, of course, that will make you a very good shopper, very good consumer, and when you think like this, not just with a computer, you can think the same strategy can apply for something else in your life. So that is my finding, and I hope this nugget of wisdom will help you when you shop for your new or used laptop.